Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Black Owned Monday. My name is Jael for those of you that may not know, and today's video is going to be a focus in on Makeup Addiction Cosmetics. It is a Black owned brand that is out of the UK, and I have featured some of the products on my channel before, but today we're going to actually be taking a deep dive look at it and taking a look at one of the eyeshadow palettes for the first time. I'm going to get more into swatches, what the palette looks like, all that jazz in a moment, but I want to just take you through some of the history of the brand so we can get to know it a little bit better. So I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce the CEO's name. I haven't seen anywhere where it's kind of written out phonetically for me to be able to know exactly how to pronounce it, but I will have it here down here somewhere so you guys can see. Basically, the brand was started when the CEO received a diagnosis of fibromyalgia. After receiving that diagnosis, she decided to find something to kind of bolster her spirits, and she ended up deepening her love of makeup that she already had, and it turned into launching her own makeup brand. She says, according to the website, that she wanted to create inclusive, high-quality products to the makeup enthusiasts that are perfect for the woman who wants to experiment without the high-end price tag. And they're currently in over 27 countries and 40 retailers worldwide. Now she has this really beautiful brand. She has a daughter, she's married, and she just seems to be living her best life, and that's so awesome. So I really like Makeup Addiction Cosmetics. I like the things that I've tried from them. I have a bunch of their pigments. They have some of the most beautiful pigments I've ever seen. They're fantastic. I highly suggest picking those up. But today I wanted to focus in on the eyeshadow palette. So here's the deal. I actually tried to film this video a while back, but it did not quite go according to plan because I didn't do my research correctly. Basically, what I mean by that is this eyeshadow palette is the Sinful Eyes eyeshadow palette, and it actually comes with a companion little card that tells you how you're supposed to be using all of the eyeshadows. Now, I know that's not something that everybody's going to be super into, but I do think it is something that is important to note, because if you don't understand how to use them correctly, you're not going to really know what you're supposed to do. And I completely neglected to look at this, so I didn't feel like it was fair for me to put out that video after I realized that I didn't give the palette its true fair shot because I didn't use it the way that it's said to be used. I'm going to make that make sense more in a moment, but just keep that in mind. So this is what the palette looks like on the inside. It is absolutely stunning. It has a beautiful array of these pretty warm tones with some beautiful pops of color. Okay, so according to the card, it says the palette contains 15 eyeshadows and 5 textures, 5 soft mattes, 5 intense shimmers, 1 semi-matte, 1 matte with a soft sheen, and 3 wet metallic glitters. So the wet metallic glitters are where I really got tripped up because I didn't use those correctly, and I ended up feeling like the look just looked so off and bad because of that. So I'm going to try and do that correctly this time and see what we can create. What we're going to do today is do a little eyeshadow look using this product, see how we like it. This is my first time really trying it out in a while, and we're going to have fun. So let's go ahead and get started. Right, so I'm actually going to start off by picking up this shade Night Moves, which is this deep black shade right here. And I am just going to kind of pat that in, do like a little circle motion, and I'm going to keep it kind of right below my crease because blacks can get away from you very quickly and can become a hassle to deal with. But I'm going to start off by just kind of packing that down onto the lid underneath my crease in a semicircle C shape. So what I'm going to do is, without adding any extra product on the brush, I am just going to start to blend this in. I'm going to focus in on the inner corners first and just kind of do little swiping motions and then little circular motions, just so that I can make sure I have some kind of control over those inner corners a bit. And then I'm just going to let this kind of blend out so that the black is going to be a little bit easier for us to manipulate and work with. And it looks a lot more blended. Now that we have the black down, I want to take a slightly more fluffy brush and I'm going to go right into that shade Shameless, which is right next to the black. This is a deeper chocolatey brown. I'm going to pick up this shade and I'm going to just kind of do the same thing I did last time. I'm going to do a little packing motion, but this time I'm doing it like right on the edge and above where I laid down that black. So I'm going into my crease this time. Okay, now without, again, any additional product, we're going to start blending those two shades together. I'm going back in with a little bit of the black to kind of help reinforce some of the black and give this a little bit more of a blend. And then switching back into the brown. I'm going to take a larger, fluffier brush. I'm going to pick up the shade Wildfire, which is this like burnt orange shade. And I am going to help blend out the brown some more with this orange shade. And just to kind of help, I'm actually just going to take what's left on this brush and I'm just going to blend down here where the black is just a little bit more, because I feel like that kind of lighter transition shade is going to help everything to just kind of fade, not fade, but like blend and diffuse even better. Taking the fluffiest brush yet, I'm going to pick up this shade Naked Lunch, which is just this really pretty light kind of tan shade. And I'm just going to take a dab of that and just kind of sweep that up by the brow bone to just, and in the corner, just on the very edges to make this as soft as possible on the ends, just so that it really blends out nicely. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up the shade Bougie, but first I'm going to wet my finger because it says to go in with a wet finger. This Wet n Wild Photo Focus Rose 3-in-1 spray, and just wet my finger a bit. I'm going right here with the shade Bougie. This is what it looks like when it comes up on my finger. I'm going to pop that right in the center of the lid. Oh wow, okay. I want to wet my finger a bit more and see what that does. I'm curious to see how easily I can manipulate this now. So I'm going to take a little bit of that black and just kind of try and blend those edges in a bit. I do get a little bit of flaking when I go in with the regular shadow on top of that, but I can just always go back and kind of press that out. And now I'm going to take a little bit more of the brown and I'm going to just, oh, I can feel it like drying on my lids. That is a weird sensation. I'm going to just kind of blend out along the top. What I'm going to do now is, because I want to just kind of add in a little bit more of like a dimension to it, I am going to be tightlining and everything, but I want to have like a little bit of a smoky line along the top. I'm going to go back into the black shade Night Move. I'm going to go back into the black shade Night Moves, and I am just going to press this along the lash line as best as I can. This is like a kind of almost a liner. Okay. All right, I'm going to finish up the rest of my face and come back on and tell you guys my final thoughts. All right, you guys, and this is your completed look. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a banger. It actually looks really cute. I feel very pretty, I feel very sexy. I feel like this is just such a pretty, beautiful makeup look in general, but I do have some final thoughts that I want to talk about in regards to the eyeshadow palette. So, first of all, the packaging is really pretty. I don't know if the packaging necessarily directly lends to what's on the inside, but it does remind me of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera packaging, and that just is automatically what came to mind when I first saw it. But when you go on the inside, it's just a really beautiful color story, a very pretty layout. It's very intriguing and immediately makes me want to pick up the palette and play with the shades. I think that the mattes are nice. The black was a little bit harder to work with. Blacks can be hard to work with in general, but this one definitely took a lot more time to just kind of blend out and get it where I needed it to go. But it did. I will say it was one of the blacks that like it kind of fades when you really blend it, and then you kind of have to keep on going back and adding in more instead of like it blending but still maintaining some stuff. So it was a little bit harder for that particular color. The rest of them I felt like blended very nicely. The brown and orange blended into each other so easily and like a dream. So that was awesome. I think my biggest gripe with this palette is that as innovative as these pressed glitter shades are, I don't know that they work as well as they should. Now, you can see them on my eye, they're still on my eye, but I just don't know how long this is going to last on my eye. I feel like it looks like it's going to flake off, but it's still on there. It's so pretty. So I am going to definitely make sure to leave a pinned comment down below to let you guys know how it wore throughout the day, if I felt like I was getting a lot of flaking, and if I felt like it actually lasted, or by the end of the day it was just all off my eye. I just don't know how well this is going to last, what the longevity of it is going to be. Maybe I should have applied a glitter glue first, but I did go based directly off of the directions, which is just to wet your finger and pop it on your lid. And so I will definitely make sure to play around with that and give you guys an update on that. I do love the 3 pressed glitter shades the absolute most, so that does make me kind of wish they weren't just the pressed glitters. And the reason that I say that is because if you ever look on the Makeup Addiction website and you look on their pressed pigments, or sorry, their loose pigments, they are just so outstanding. I have a bunch of them. I've used them before. They're so beautiful. They're some of the best pigments I've seen, and they are just so wonderful to use. They don't move anywhere. They're a dream. And so I kind of feel like this missed the mark just a teensy bit, because I feel like if it was closer to the formula of their pressed pigment, just had like a little bit of something different, it would work even better. Again, this isn't a bad formula. It is on my eye. It is showing up. It's kind of giving me like Game of Thrones vibes a little bit. It's very smoky and grabs your attention, but I just feel like I don't know. I don't love the fact that it kind of looks like up close, like something's flaking off of my eye. I don't necessarily like the appearance of it. And you do have to play with it. There is a learning curve. So if you're not somebody that's comfortable having a learning curve with your makeup, this might not be the best option for you. But if you're like, you know what, as long as I know how to use it, I can make it work, then that's fine. But you just need to be aware that you will need to use your fingers for this, because I don't think a brush would work very well with this because you have to do so much manipulation. And when I did go to blend it with a brush, I was getting flakiness everywhere. And honestly, I kept on finding flakes like all over from this one shadow. I kept on finding little flaky pieces everywhere from after, you know, of trying to apply it. So definitely keep that in mind. It is a little bit messier than you might like, but I don't think it's a bad palette. I think it's a different palette. I think it's a palette that definitely requires a particular type of person that wants to use it, a particular type of consumer. It definitely requires a learning curve, and I would suggest keeping the little like pamphlet little card that comes with it nearby, because if you at any point are like, how do I use this? You have this right here to tell you and kind of guide you step by step on how to get it and what each color is supposed to do. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below. Let me know if you plan on picking up this eyeshadow palette or anything else from Makeup Addiction Cosmetics, if there's anything from that brand in particular that you really enjoy. If you didn't ever hear of this brand before, I highly recommend heading on over to their page and checking it out. I will have it linked down below. It's not an affiliate link at all, but I just think that it's a really good brand that's definitely worth your time just perusing through. They are having a Black Friday sale, so definitely keep that in mind because you might want to pick up something from them. And you can also check out their Instagram. They have like live swatches and different things of that nature that you can see everything up close and personal. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe if you have not already and hit the notification bell so that you never miss an upload. Also, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and share it if you are so inclined. I will see you all in my very next one, and until we meet again, bye my loves.
Say my name until the city burns and the stars fade away and your scars don't hurt. Stay with me until the last